Good morning, everyone. Mike Hildreth here, Nebraska's Attorney General. As a quick bit of administrative work here, as a reminder, we're being live streamed online on YouTube, and afterwards I'll take questions. The number was, as we've done it before, the number was on the media release, so please text any questions that you might have. With that, we'll jump into what we're announcing today. So really today, it's actually kind of two announcements. One is a consumer protection announcement, and the second is an announcement of a new, very important lawsuit that our office filed this morning in state court, both relating to the same set of facts. The consumer protection announcement it's a consumer alert for all Nebraskans, but in particular Nebraska parents who might be purchasing home surveillance equipment, in particular home cameras that might be used in a nursery. And what we're informing people is that a certain manufacturer by the name of Lorix, that we also have sued, are using cameras with known security issues that have ties to the Chinese Communist Party and are very susceptible to hackers. Now, they would otherwise know about this, except for the fact that both the manufacturer as well as the sites that are selling these products are telling consumers that these cameras are safe and that they're secure and that they protect their privacy. We believe that those things are misleading and not ultimately true. So we want all Nebraskans to be aware of this, that if they are looking at purchasing Lorix manufactured cameras, that they should think twice. At the same time, we have filed a lawsuit using our consumer protection and UDIPTA authorities against the Lorix company for making misleading statements about the security and privacy protections of these cameras. That is what we're doing today. Let me give you just a few minutes of context about some of the background. So there is a Chinese company by the name of Dahua. Dahua is actually a Chinese military company. It has significant ties to the Chinese military, the Chinese Communist Party. This company makes all sorts of surveillance equipment. Their equipment actually has been used to surveil the Uyghurs, as you know, an exploited minority that's been enslaved within China. These manufactured products, these cameras, have all sorts of known security concerns. They are easily susceptible to hackers. They provide backdoors to enable people to access the audio and video of those particular cameras. We know both because of that company being a Chinese military company, as well as the Chinese law, the 2017 National Intelligence Act, that provides any company in China that has information related to their national security has to give that information upon request to the Chinese Communist Party. That this information, surveillance information from, say, those in the United States, is then accessible to the Chinese government. In 2021, Dahua had a brand name by the name of Lorix. So Lorix used to be a Dahua company. In 2021, the federal government, the FCC, other federal officials, including a joint congressional executive committee on Chinese spying and infiltration, uncovered the issues with Dahua, made some determinations that Dahua cameras could not be sold under certain circumstances, and made the public aware of the significant security concerns relating to Dahua manufactured products. The day before that order came down, Dahua sold Lorix, its company, to another company. It spun it off, and leaving the impression that that new company was not actually using the same types of products, and they didn't have the same types of security concerns. An impression, by the way, that is buttressed by the public statements that Lorix makes online, that these products are safe, that they protect their privacy, that they take every step that they can to protect people's privacy. For the last 3 or 4 years, these products have been sold. They're sold on popular websites like Costco, Home Depot, Office Depot, Best Buy, Kohl's. They are marketed to families. These are cameras that are being placed in people's nurseries. They're cameras that are watching the most intimate parts of people's home or the places surrounding their homes. They're told to regular Nebraskans and Americans, for that matter, that these products are safe and you can trust that your very private data, the very audio and video of your internal home, especially with your own child potentially in your nursery, are safe from others. Unfortunately, that split when Lorix left Dahua was in name only. We know that the manufacture, the infrastructure, the firmware of these particular products are still made by Dahua. They're still connected to Dahua. They still have the same significant security concerns that were identified in 2021 and before. So you now have products that are being sold to Nebraskans, and we know not just the sites I mentioned to you, but also including Nebraska Furniture Mart. These are being sold and marketed to Nebraskans under the auspices of, with specific representations that these are safe and private. We know that they're not. We know that they have backdoors to the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party. We also know that given the significant security concerns, these are well known to other hackers. So even people who are not part of the Chinese government, even people who are not part of Dahua, have access to these back-end systems that they can exploit. And we also know, if you were at our Human Trafficking Summit last week, you would know the significant issues surrounding online child exploitation. And cameras of this type that have these types of security concerns have been exploited by predators who can access these types of cameras, use the audio or visual to try to gain access to young children. Significant concerns in Nebraskans. If Lorex or these other companies made clear that their cameras had significant security concerns, would expose their nurseries to third party, either hackers, the Chinese government, and provide them with access to the audio and visual of secure parts of their home. If they wanted to tell people that they could, they very well likely would not have very many customers, but they could do that. But they didn't, and that's why we ultimately are filing our lawsuit, because they have been dishonest with Nebraska consumers, and they, under our Consumer Protection and Uniform Deceptive Trade Practices Act, we think that's unlawful. So we filed the suit this morning. We're seeking both civil penalties as well as injunctive relief. We think this is a critical issue, not just for Nebraskans' own privacy and security, but also it's a geopolitical issue. As you know, if you've been following the work of this office, we think we've been a national leader on fighting back against consumer products that have Chinese Communist Party ties. Just this summer, we filed suit against Temu, one of the first in the country, alleging kind of similar set of allegations that they're misleading Americans, misleading Nebraskans, at the same time getting access to some of their most intimate information. We also have led what we think is the largest consumer protection suit in the state against TikTok for similar types of misrepresentations. So we think this is a really enormous geopolitical issue, and we're doing what we can here in Nebraska. So that's what we've done today. I'm happy to answer any questions.